But you have an interesting background.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a studio engineer,
yeah, yeah,
and you
yeah.
did
It's 2 o'clock.
some soundtracks for some movies. So,
Yeah. There was not the whole soundtrack. I had some music used in a feature film and some TV commercials.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, really cool stuff. Some of it was bespoke, and some of it was
Okay.
like somebody liked one of my tunes, and then the ones that got used for those were some old dubstep tunes I did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uh, for like an independent British film about what girls talk about when they go to the toilet or go to the bathroom.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's a funny British film called Powder Room. You can
I'll
check it
write that
out.
down. Powder Room. Okay. I hope I can find that on Netflix. You know, you remind me. You've heard of Triphonic?
Triphonic. I'm not sure.
Well, when you have the opportunity, look Triphonic up. They have done the same thing. Their music is in movies and commercials and things.
Right.
And you know, you see these guys. I haven't had the luxury to interview them yet, but you know, I've seen some of their YouTube stuff, and you know, they're in their studio or what have you, and it's just amazing what people can do now with music. You know,
Yeah.
in their home or out and about. You know, they get an idea. So, you know, first of all, how old are you?
31.
Okay, you're relatively young. Okay, so how did you get into this uh, genre? Because I saw that you have an eclectic background as
Yeah,
well. You
very
were
much.
influenced by hip hop beats.
Yeah.
Same here. You know, the hip hop beats really, I think, drive really good electronic music to
Mm.
you obviously open the door and bring in more of an audience to diversify your audience, if you will. And a lot of people from all walks of life love those hip hop beats. So tell me, how did you go from the engineer and then you're a
Hmm.
drummer at night in different
Yeah.
places? So tell me about who you are. You know, how did you start doing this?
Well, I started like I said, as a drummer, just as a kid in the punk rock kind of scene, just trying to play the fastest thing that I could, the most technical things I could, and then from there I got into like metal and the new metal thing, which brought me into the more like focusing on production because all that music is very, very well produced, and that kind of led me on to hip hop and dance music and like electronic music then, and then I found like chilled out, dance music.
Yep.
And then RJD2 as well. I don't know if you know
Yep.
RJD2.
Yep.
And just sort of found this genre that really resonated with me, as a lot of other genres do. But you know, I'd love to be in a heavy metal band or a punk rock band, but this is something that I could do by myself that I would enjoy doing, and it seems to resonate with other people as well. So I'm just kind of sticking with this. Actually, my friend from Slovenia, we always send each other demos of stuff that we're doing, just as an extra pair of ears.
Mm-hmm.
And he, you know, he'll say, yeah, it's all right, man, it's cool. But he was like, oh, this is great. And then for my 30th birthday, because I was messing around with the Second Hand Spaceman thing, he sent me a space helmet.
Yeah.
For like an old Russian
Cosmonaut?
space program
Yeah.
helmet.
That's what it looks like. Yep.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, man, you need to go with this. And I was like, okay, cool, great. So I think that's all of those influences kind of get into the sound of Second Hand Spaceman. And I guess you can hear in the drums, there's a lot that I'm a drummer.
Yes. Right now I'm playing Uncharted in the back. Can you hear it? Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know what I'm going to do, when I edit the videos, I'll add a couple of your tracks so it can be heard in the background, and I'll upload this on Loner.com. But what I failed to do is for all the listeners and the folks that will be looking at this video, is that I'm interviewing the Second Hand Spaceman from the UK,
Right.
and I'm the runner because we failed to mention that in the beginning. We just went right into it. But I want to ask you: have you ever heard of Ray Lynch?
Man, you're firing all these names at me. I don't know any of them. You're one of these guys, aren't you? You just know everything about, and I'm the ignorant artist.
Hey, listen, it's just stuff that I listened to coming up. That's how I got interested, because I started creating music, in 2006. I was working on my graduate degree at night, and I couldn't go to sleep because of the coffee. So I just started researching how to do this. But I was always turned on by electronic music by a gentleman by the name of Ray Lynch. They called his music soda pop electronic music, and his first cassette tape was like Deep Forest. And when you no, it wasn't Deep Forest. Deep Forest is a group. I guess his tape was Deep Forest, but there's another group I think called Deep Forest, and it's all electronic. And so I'm not saying your music is soda pop by any means, man. Your music is awesome. There was just this culmination of sounds and artists that I heard, up to this point when I heard your music. And when you hear Ray Lynch, it's I would say it's kind of prehistoric compared to what we have today electronically, but it's that basic foundation of electronic music that he put out there that really people took off and did other things with it. Yeah. So
well, I've got some homework to do then. I've got Triphonic and Ray Lynch to check out.
You'll like Triphonic.
Yeah, great.
You'll like Triphonic, but no, and none of them sound like you at all. I mean, your music is completely different, and what I like about your music, and I'll just go ahead, your song, Eagle. Hang on a second. Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
I've got some music. I've been making music for a long time, and I mean, I haven't put anything out there like you. I don't think I'm that good, but you look up THERUNNER, I've got stuff all over the internet, and I want your opinion on my music, because I respect what you do. I mean, you know what you're doing.
Thanks.
No, seriously though, it's your layering.
Right.
And it's your diversification of sound and the different elements that you add. And I hear all these things, I just respect just the way you produce. And so, when you have the opportunity, and you may not be able to find it, but it's called Electronic Orgasm. If you Google that by THERUNNER, 3 N's, it may still be up on like Napster or something. I put it out a long time ago. But I just wanted to get your take on a couple songs, and I mean, I've got stuff all over the place. But anyway, this is about you.
Cool. No, that's cool.
Back to Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Hotel Costas electronic sounds? Oh,
what?
That's recent, man. That's okay. Well, that's like chill. That's chill music.
Okay.
And I don't want to keep doing this to you.
No, this is great. I'm getting homework.
But I'm trying to remember the artist's name. He made a lot of. This guy is responsible for lounge music during the 50s and 60s, and it was really good lounge music. They called it cocktail music, right? I'm not saying your music is cocktail, but you somehow capture that in Eagle Eye. It's a really smooth, cool, chill sound, and I don't know if you were aiming for that, but I'm telling you, if you look up Hotel Costas and listen to some of that music, I think you can actually contribute your song to that Hotel Costas collaboration. Yeah, I'm serious. I think so, because if you look on iTunes, Hotel Costas, it's different artists, and they do a collaboration for a chill CD.
Okay.
So there's another door.
Great.
For you to check out. There's somebody else you need to know who's in your backyard. You ever heard of John Kennedy? Oh man. You two would get along like this.
Great.
He's got a pretty big audience, and he's in your backyard. And one of the reasons I do this, I was just telling this rapper out of Wisconsin last night. The reason I do this too is because it creates a network platform for you guys.
Yeah.
So like when I play your music, you get a tweet, right? So you get an auto tweet. Well, John Kennedy does the same thing, and like for example, I had a rapper in Phoenix, Arizona, and St. Louis tag Nate Wood out of Wisconsin because they know producers and things. and they do concerts, and Nate Wood is trying to get to that level as well and be discovered to that. So that's really the fun of this for me.
Cool.
So, all right. So here's Eagle Eye, and this Venture Newman Mix Cube Mix. Now.
Oh wait, that's not the title of that. It's just Venture. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that out.
All
right.
Yeah, I just sent. I have all kinds of different ways of cataloging my different mixes, but yeah, that was the one that went to the master.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's called Venture. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I took it out. I don't think that shows up when it auto tweets. This is in iTunes. I just dragged it and put it in iTunes before I cleaned it up. So,
Okay.
But I love this. I like the way you start this off. This, yeah, that's catchy, man. That's really good, and and your music is all different. Every track. So
this was a nightmare to produce. This was, I had some boring old chords, and I was like, I like them, but it's a boring song. What am I gonna do? And I had no ideas for it, and then I was just like, oh, what would this sound like on a piano? What would it sound like on a Rhodes? What would it sound like on a?
Yep.
I think there's a vibraphone in there. And I was like, oh, okay, what would that sound like reversed? What would that sound like? And then I just chopped up little pieces of each one and put them all together in kind of a rhythmical pattern, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I can deal with that. That's cool.
Well, you can tell it's complex.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell it's complex. I mean, and it takes time and effort to do what you did.
Yeah.
I've tried to do it. In my earlier one, I was able to do some of that, but I don't have the time to do that. I just don't. So, I mean, like I said, that's why I'm asking you when you have time, just check mine out. I just want some feedback from you. That is a really good production. That is.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, we know we got to talk about Nice Planet.
Okay, yeah.
And this is I'll be honest with you. I clicked on it, and then I turned it off, and then I came in the basement, and I turned it on the speakers. Then I pulled the video up. That's perfect. That video is perfect. And I tell you, like, because I work from home, and my other work computer's over here, and it's like I have my Mac here. I'll play your video to get in a good mood to start my day.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, man. In addition, because I listen to some other like affirmation, meditation stuff in the morning, but when I don't really need that, I put yours on, and this video is freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Who did that?
It wasn't me, by the way. I'm not taking any credit for that. It's a guy from Serbia, and you might have to edit this part.
No problem.
I've got his name somewhere. That's really bad. I should know. It's on my YouTube actually. Let me grab it.
Oh, I got it right here. I've got like 4 screens going here.
Oh wow, great.
So
it should be in the little description.
Oh, show more. Yeah. Dusan Talovic.
Yeah, so Dusan Talovic.
Talovic, correct. Yep.
Yeah, I found him on Upwork.
Really? Upwork?
It's like Elance or something. I was just looking for an animator to make a really basic video. I wasn't expecting anything like that. And I saw a couple of his portfolio bits. He'd done a couple of TV adverts, and I was like, would you be able to do something like this, a full-length music video? And he just loved the music. He loved it, and he said, I'll do it, and I'll do it cheap. And I was like, great, because that's all I've got.
Well, hey man, that right there, flagship video and music. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. and it just it makes you happy, and the little bubbles, wherever they are, they're cute.
Yeah.
You put a smile
Yeah.
on your face, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So is this your first album?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. No, this is. I keep playing it, and I'm gonna keep playing it, and keep playing it, because it's just a nice. It goes well with the repertoire, if you will. It fits right in there, and I really like it. So tell me about your sound engineer or studio engineer background.
Yeah, so I guess I sort of grew up knowing a guy called Bruce Woolley, who wrote with Trevor Horn on a bunch of hit records, Video Killed the Radio Star, stuff like that. And he got me to work with him on a couple of TV commercials, and then I got interested in the stuff that he was doing on the computer. You know, I was just messing about on a keyboard at the time, and he was like clicking the mouse, and it all sounded great. And then I got more interested in that, and as I started playing more and more drums, I wanted to know the process of recording that as well, so I got involved in recording techniques, and then I was messing about with electronic music, and I wanted to record a vocal, so I found out about that and did a year's course in audio engineering in London, which was great. And then I did a bit of live sound work at a church for a year and a half, and I kind of worked with them on some songs as a producer and engineer. And then I got involved with a guy called Damien, who is like a composer, like a classical composer guy. He's had a bunch of classical records, worked in his studio for a bit, sort of as a like a studio engineer, while he's doing his musical wizardry that I could never ever. He's a proper musician. You know,
Right, exactly.
He knows stuff about music.
Yeah. Which is rare now. Yep.
Right. Yeah. He's classically trained. He's got a beautiful, posh English accent. You know. And I'm just there sitting in awe, like plugging stuff in for him as he just composes the most amazing stuff. And then I've been writing my own stuff. I was a drum and bass producer, and then moved into dubstep and sort of more chilled out stuff, and started doing orchestral stuff. And then sort of arrived here at the Second Hand Spaceman sort of space. That's a really meandering story, but
no, it's fine, because you have a very well-rounded education in music production, whereas like the rest of us out here on the fringe, we're learning software programs and creating melodies on MIDI keyboards.
Well, mate, I tell you, I learnt more from the internet after my course than I did during the course.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, between YouTube and Google, because really that's how I learned it. I was just on yesterday learning how to. I wanted to change the. God, I took so many notes. I wanted to do some time changing. Just kind of. I'm looking into that now, but I don't have the time to chop things up. But I'm trying to learn some fast tracking, if you will. But yeah, I mean, if you have the resource such as a computer, you can teach yourself pretty much anything if you have the patience. So with that, what do you use as far as equipment, software, hardware? What's your go-to of choice?
I'm Logic Pro all the way.
Same here.
I was back in the day. I was on Reason.
I was too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got up to Reason 4 and then went on to Logic, and I've never looked back, because you couldn't do audio on Reason at the time.
Right. You know what? I bought the manual for Reason, and I remember my kids were probably 4 and 5, and I'm laying in the living room reading this thing, and that electronic orgasm, I used Reason and I used Ableton.
Okay.
And that's yeah, and I put a lot of time into that. But then I kind of transitioned over to Logic, and there's so much more you can do, as you're aware, with
Yeah.
Logic. And I just finished up a house track. I got away from house music, but I just finished up a house track yesterday, and I love it. But I love
Great.
Logic, love Logic. So I was just curious what you were using. But so what's next for the Second Hand Spaceman?
I'm working on some new tunes at the moment. I've got a pretty busy gigging schedule in the evenings with my drums,
Right.
so that's taking up a lot of time at the moment. But there's going to be a lot more vocals because there wasn't any in the first bit. I've been listening to quite a lot of Moby. Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know him well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of I had him pegged as some weird indie guy, but actually I listened to a bunch of his tunes and I was like, is that Moby?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow, that's some of my favorite.
Yes.
Music. Yeah.
I don't know him. I grew up with his music when he started.
Yeah.
And he is the one that really started that movement of blues vocalists in the background with electronic,
Yeah.
immersion.
Yeah.
But speaking of being ecocentric, I obviously your website, you are all about sustainability, which is phenomenal, and you're donating your proceeds to was it early release?
Yeah, the pre-orders
The
went
pre-orders.
to the World Land Trust.
Yes, yeah, hey, right on, man. That's let everybody know where they can find your music.
So they can get 2 tracks for free right now at secondhandspaceman.co.uk, or they can buy it on iTunes or listen to it on Spotify or whatever. They can find out more about me on secondhandspaceman.com. But yeah, the free music is at secondhandspaceman.co.uk.
Okay.
And also, if you get the 2 free tracks, then there's a discount for the album.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and the interview. I really appreciate it. And as you get more music, stay in touch. I'll be pinging you every now and then. If I see something new come across, I'll put it in rotation, because the great thing about my station, it has grown 600%, and I have people from the corners of the globe I've never even heard of that are listening, as well as the most popular areas as well. So it's exciting, and that's one reason I keep doing this. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Tim, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you
Thanks
very
so much
much.
for having me.
Okay, hey, have a good night and a great week.
Yeah, don't be a stranger.
Oh, absolutely not. No worries here, man. You take care.
Cool. Take
All
care.
right.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.